Hello, beautiful people. It is never a foul. It's your boy Mo, along with Ty. And one day after the deadline, after the window shut yesterday evening, and we're here to talk about everything transfers. We rate all the transfers, and me and Ty are here. We're just going to talk about it. Ty, how are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy we've got Sabitzer over the line. I'm happy the Premier League is back this weekend. Europe is hotting up. And players are now coming over with a point to prove or a point to make. I'm excited, man. It's going to be a good show. We're talking about these tactically, what they like as players, tactically, and what they think for the team as well. Is it the right choice? So, yeah, man, smash the like button, people. Subscribe and big up Mo every single time, man.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. We're going to talk club by club. Maybe not all the signing because Chelsea got a lot, and I think we won't have time to talk about every player. You know what I mean? But we'll definitely talk about the big ones. Of course, you know the big ones, you know the record breaking one, and you know everything. But first, people, you know, when you come to the stream, all you need to do is to hit that like button for us, please. And if you're new to the channel, of course, you need to subscribe to be able to come into the chat to us and let us know what is going on. So big up everybody that is already here with us. Daniel is here with us, of course. Waldify, Ed is here, Fraser is us, Noz is here with us, MH is here, and HM. So both are here.
It might be the same.
Travarelli, Arsenal fan, saying 4 out of 10. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But listen, we don't have a lot of time here today, but we'll definitely start with one club, to be honest. And that's what I want to start with. Chelsea, though, this is what I want to start with. Chelsea. I want to talk about 3 signings specifically, in my opinion. It's Enzo Fernandez, Ty, Joao Felix, and Mudryk. This team struggled for goals. They weren't the worst defensively. They had Parashile, great signing. But talk to me about Enzo, Felix, Mudryk. What does that mean for the rest of the players, the Havertz, the Sterlings? What does that mean for these guys? What does that mean for Ziyech? Who couldn't move to PSG, though? What does that mean for a lot of them? So tell me, talk to me.
You know, that's funny, actually, because, you know, you'll remember this. Do you remember when Man United were going to sign Fabio Contrao and Real Madrid messed up the paperwork?
Yep, I remember
That's exactly what it reminded me of. 10 years later, and the same thing's happening in today's 2023. But do you know what? That's a very good angle to come with, because when you think about Chelsea and their players, such as like Sterling, Ziyech, Pulisic, Havertz, let's be honest, all of them are good players in their own right. I liked Hakim Ziyech at Ajax. I thought he was a good player. I liked what I've seen from Havertz at Leverkusen. I liked what I've seen from Pulisic before his injuries at Dortmund. But none of these players have come in. And yes, people might say Sterling's only been here 4 or 5 months. I'm basing it off what I've seen, Mo. What I've seen from all these players as a collective has not been good enough in terms of consistency. Yes, they have their moments. Yes, they provide their little bit of individual brilliance at times, but this is Chelsea. When you're competing for the top trophies, right, across Europe and the Premier League and domestic cups, you want rhythm, you want consistency, and you want to be able to look at a player and say, do you know what? I know what I'm going to see from him. It's like when you look at your Inter Milan team and you see like certain players that, you know, like when Lukaku was on form and that year he won the league, you knew every week, okay, Lukaku in the system, it works, and I know what I'm going to get every week. You don't with these players. So I actually feel like Mudryk, he's going to freshen things up, 100% on the left. He's coming in and nailing down that spot. Joao Felix, you can already see with the flair against Fulham before his red card. He can play as a number 10. Mason Mount better wake up. He can play out wide on the right, and he can play as a false 9. And then you've obviously got Madueke still as well. So with Enzo coming in, I think it gives this Chelsea team a bit more of a lift in terms of threat when we're talking about goals and creativity. Whether someone's going to put the ball in the back of the net, that's my question mark, Mo.
They got a lot of creators, but they haven't got a goal scorer yet.
Yeah, if Havertz or Aubameyang going to put the ball in the net, Mudryk and Felix, right, will create chances, 100 million%. But will Chelsea have Aubameyang firing, which I doubt, and will Havertz have that killer instinct to put the ball in the back of the net? I don't know. But that's for Potter to work out. And then with Enzo, you said it perfectly yesterday. You've got Jorginho, who's left the club now. Chelsea haven't not got a player of that profile in their squad anymore. Enzo is not fully that profile, as we discussed, but he's the closest thing to it. So Enzo literally comes in for Jorginho. But does that mean a system change? We said yesterday, does Enzo play alone? Does he play in a 2 with Kovacic and they play 4-2-3-1?
I'm seeing a lot of reports saying that. Again, here you go. Hit with the first super chat. Hit 44. Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much for your support. You asked the question, and I'm going to answer it like yesterday, Hit. He says, who plays DM for Chelsea? Enzo isn't a DM. Again, people, I'm going to tell you, they would not sell Jorginho if Graham Potter did not send his scouts, and we know they are great from the Brighton days. And they thought, this guy can do the job. Maybe until we get Declan Rice in the summer. Maybe until we get a big name in the summer, because they were focused on goal scoring. They were focused on someone who supports the midfield. And they were afraid that if they wait until the summer, they wouldn't get Enzo. And Jorginho probably wanted to go. So I see a double pivot. Like a double pivot, to be honest. Like Kante and Kovacic. I see Enzo and Kovacic. Like DePaul. Exactly, like DePaul and Enzo played. DePaul is not a DM. Enzo's not a DM. They played 7 games for Argentina. And I know the people that say it's different international football. However, I have seen it many times that people with the right coach can actually... Hakan Çalhanoğlu, again, has been playing the last 8 games for Inter as a regista, which is like Jorginho. And he has been excelling. It's all about football ability. And based on what I'm hearing, Ty, he has great football abilities, passing. So he plays 4-2-3-1, as Fraser is saying.
Yeah, 100% 4-2-3-1.
And
right.
it works. And it doesn't mean Kovacic is DM, Enzo's DM, but I think that DM...
It complements it. You just have to complement and you play in the moment. If your side's getting beat on transition, you have to go over to that side and cover. But what it does, because Chelsea, this is the problem for me, and I'm glad that people are saying 4-2-3-1, because I agree. If you sign someone like Enzo Fernandez, who's not actually a DM like our super chat said, he's still a brilliant player. So you don't want to spend 105 million on someone and just put them into a pigeonhole where you're just a DM. You're just there to break up play and sort of like try and control the tempo. Enzo is more than that. He can get up and down the pitch. He can beat a man. He can dribble. He can create. He can score, as we saw in the Argentina team. And he's got an intelligent mind. So what I'm thinking is Potter's going to play him in a deep role as a pivot. And then I think what they'll go and do, Chelsea, is Zakaria's on loan. N'Golo Kante, they can't rely on anymore. Kovacic is a brilliant player, but we know that as he gets older, his legs are going in terms of staying fit week in, week out. Chelsea will go and sign another midfielder. Now, Mo, what do they go and do? You've got Mason Mount, right? You potentially, we don't know, could keep Felix, who can play number 10. You're still going to have Kovacic. Kante probably will stay on. But in terms of Enzo now, would you go and be Chelsea and say, right, Graham Potter's going to observe this for 5 months and see how it goes. But to get the best out of Enzo, you're going to need a partner for him. Now, do you go and get a proper DM to play next to Enzo? Or would you go and get someone who's got legs to go up and down a pitch, like a Zakaria and Kante, who's going to be there every single week and keep Enzo DM? Do you think long-term, which one's the best option for Chelsea? Because
I actually think
these fans are going to be looking at next season. These fans are already thinking about next season, how they're going to look.
You know what, Ty? I'm really worried about the creativity from the middle, the Mason Mount. He has not been good. And they need someone, to be honest, to come in this place and maybe be better. And I'm not sure if Mason Mount was asking for 250k, he's not gonna get that. So I would keep Kovacic if he stays a little bit fit this season. I would keep Enzo, because if you get a DM and you play Enzo and Kovacic, okay, the creativity comes from the side, unless Graham Potter turns into a full-time 5 in the back, which he didn't do, by the way.
Even if Kovacic stays, because when you think about it, Potter's there, yeah, and Chelsea fans will admit it in this. Make sure you're smashing the like, people, by the way.
Ooh,
Chelsea fans.
Fraser's telling me, just before you go on, Fraser's telling me that Kovacic is gone in the summer. Is that true, though?
Interesting. I don't know, but that would be based on not his ability. That would be based on his availability. If Kovacic does stay, though, Mo, you know, and you've seen football for years, You don't win titles, you don't win trophies without having a balanced team of consistency. You can't have Kovacic playing 1 week, out for 2 weeks, and Kovacic back in. So for me, even if Kovacic stayed, right, despite how I like him, this ball carrying and stuff like that, Chelsea needs someone that they can look at this team and say, right, Enzo and X is playing every week. We've seen Arsenal top the league. Now, Arsenal playing really good football this year, right? But you look at their starting 11, and yes, it's a good starting 11, but it doesn't blow your mind out of this world. Like, Xhaka is good, but we've seen his flaws over the years and stuff. But he's a very good professional, obviously, Switzerland and stuff. But it's not, oh my God. However, you look at this Arsenal team, Mo, and Arsenal play the same 11 every week. You just know I could do it blindfolded. Now, Chelsea need to get in a position where they're signing these players, they need to get in a position where in August next year, or August this year, should I say, next season, they know what their 11 kind of is. Yes, you can rotate and do that a bit, but Enzo needs a proper partner in there. And that's what I'm thinking. Do they go out there and get someone who's got legs and try and play the Argentina way? Or do they go out and get a proper DM who's going to be solid, and then they allow Enzo
like
to
a
get
Caicedo? Chelsea wants Caicedo and McAllister? I'm not sure.
A DM. Fraser, is he support Man City? Yeah, he supports Man City. But does Caicedo and Enzo complement itself? Like, I think Moises Caicedo is a good player, right? But if I was looking at him, I look at him as more like someone who would go into the Xhaka role at Arsenal. He wouldn't play the Thomas Partey role. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think his passing and his distribution is good enough of a number 6.
Yeah, but to be honest, at the end though, this window for Chelsea has been absolutely out of this world. If you asked any Chelsea fan,
7 players.
Yeah, 7 players. People saying Lavia in the summer. Well, listen, summer is the summer. We'll see what happens in the summer. Things can change from now until the end of the season, to be honest. But we'll see how it is. But how do you rate the window, though? Is it 12 out of 10?
Yeah. Do you know what? Felix, Mudryk, Enzo, Badiashile. I'm thinking of the big boy signings. Malo Gusto, we've got to add him in because he's coming in the summer. For me, that window.
And Nkunku.
Nkunku, yeah, but obviously we count that as a summer one. That's a summer one. Yeah. So, but with this window, obviously, Gusto's coming at right back. You've got Badiashile centre back. You've got a midfielder in Enzo. You've got João Felix on loan, and you've got Mudryk on the left. That's got to be an 8 or 9. It has to be.
That's a 10 for me.
Yeah, I'd say 9. I was going to say a 9 because the only reason I say
money for Jorginho. Remember, Jorginho is out of contract. I know people don't want to talk about the money, but Chelsea, this is run as a business. So money for Jorginho means it's good business. It's good business for them. So I would rate it, to be honest, 9.5 or 10. I have never seen a better window in my life as a football fan, and I've been supporting football for that many years. Even this is better than the Real Madrid window in 2009 when they signed Kaká, Ronaldo, Xabi Alonso. This is a better window because it hits everything. You said it yesterday, Ty. They hit defense, midfield, forwards, wingers. So everything. They got a mix of players that are absolutely fantastic. But no striker. They have.
That's what I was going to say. Please put that in the comments.
Yes, it's the absolute cast. However, they are relying on Aubameyang and Havertz. And Havertz has been getting goals lately. They're not going to just get somebody for the sake of somebody. They have to forward.
I agree. That's why when you said 10, I was going to say if they signed a striker, it would be 10. And the reason I say that is I think this has been a brilliant window for Chelsea, by the way. Does the right back Malo Gusto improve the starting 11 when he comes in? Yes, because him and Reece James are both very good, by the way. Both very good. Badiashile, very solid. Left-footed centre-back, they've needed that. He improves the starting 11. Yes, he does. Enzo Fernandez, does he improve the starting 11? Yes, he does. Mudryk, does he improve the starting 11? Yes. João Felix, does he improve the starting 11? Yes. You sign players, not just for the squad. You sign players that actually improve the starting 11. And that's why I rate it a 9. And the only reason I wouldn't rate it a 10 is because what Dap said, or Cass. I get it. You can't sign a striker and get everyone in one window. However,
also, they have Lukaku in the books. Remember, Ty, they have Lukaku in the
books. Of course. But right now, Mo, we're talking February, March, April, May. Chelsea have got Mudryk and Felix. Like we said, they're going to create chances. Enzo's going to be better on the ball. But we've got to make sure that ball is hitting the back of the net. So if they got a striker, I know it's hitting the back of the net. So it's a 9 because they will improve the starting 11. But the cherry on top would have been a striker. But come on. If you were a Chelsea fan and you got told this is who you're going to get in the window, you would have been like, what?
Yeah, absolutely. So
So I'm gonna go. You're gonna go 10.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
go
9.5. So because I'm convinced. No
9. Mm.
striker. Even though I think they did the business that they can do, they couldn't get a striker. So for me, maybe 9.5. But anyway, if you
No,
say
okay, can I
8,
ask you? No, I've got one more question for you.
go.
No. I got a question for you. And guys in the comments, make sure you're liking the video. By the way, 150 already here. So thank you. With these signings, and I want people to answer in the comments as well. You've got Gusto, you've got Felix, we've got Enzo, and whatnot. Obviously, Gusto, put Gusto aside because he's here next season. Based off the signings that are going to play now for the rest of the season, who do you think has the biggest impact between now and the end of this season out of all the signings they've made?
Enzo Fernandez.
Do you?
Up 100%.
I think
Their,
I'm gonna
their
go
midfield is
I'm gonna go Mudryk.
shambolic, bro. Their midfield is shambolic.
Okay, but is that okay? Is that because Enzo's going to be very good, or is that because their midfield's crap?
Because their midfield is crap.
See, I'm going to go with performances. I think Mudryk, because I think he looks so exciting and dynamic and athletic. He's going to get bums off seats. Ziyech, Sterling, Pulisic, Mount. They've not had something like that for years. I'll probably say since Hazard came and went. They've not had that type of player. I'm going to go
maybe
Mudryk.
even. But I think if Sterling start playing regularly, comes back from injury, Joao Felix, because I think that Mudryk adds something, but it's just they already have players there. The midfield I saw a couple of days ago when they had Conor Gallagher there, and he played Lewis Hall in there. I'm like, oh my God, what was that?
It's not good. I see so many people in the comments. We'll move on to the next club shortly.
Yes. I wanna go to Arsenal because here you go.
Mudryk, Felix, Enzo, Badiashile, Felix.
But
a lot of people say the centre back. He's very good.
Does that mean the window has been great? Because if the opinions are split, that means they signed really, really good names for them, and that's positive to Chelsea. Expectations top 4 because they are 10 points behind. Top 4, top 6, at least challenge for top 4 until the last 5 games or something. Less than this, I would consider it a failure, especially after spending about 300 million in this window or more.
And on that note, Mo, I agree with you.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. So for me, I want to go to Arsenal, and I want to get your opinion right away about these 2 signings. Arsenal, listen, I have 3 signings. Kier from Serie A, from Spezia, good center back.
Yeah, you've watched him more than me, so
it's a good center back. They paid 25 million for him. Jorginho, which is, I think, people consider him the star signing for Arsenal. However, I think it's Leandro Trossard. This is the guy that will bring more heat to this team because he can play on the right, on the left, up top. So he will provide competition for Saka, Martinelli, and Nketiah until Gabriel Jesus comes back. This has been good window for Arsenal. Of course, it would have been better with Caicedo. Of course, we all know that. But how do you think these signings, do they change the starting lineup at all?
Do you know what? I don't say they change the starting lineup. And there's going to be Arsenal fans that are going to think, oh, they're going to get excited now. But Mo, I just said it 10 minutes ago. Arsenal have got a team where every week you know the starting 11. It's performing, it's winning games, it's consistent, and they all understand the coach's demands. No one, and I'm talking really hardly anyone in the world right now, could come in and take any of them players' positions, even if you're kind of the top players in the world, because it's a team game and the team are working so good right now. So what do you need? You need players that are going to come in and improve the squad depth. Vieira's back. They've got Smith Rowe back from injury now. Now you're going to add Trossard to that. You're going to add the centre-back from Spezia. You've got Jorginho who can cover for Thomas Partey. They've gone out and got the players, or should I say the positions, that people were worried about. Centre-back cover for Gabriel. They've got a midfielder that can now cover for Thomas Partey, who's experienced, who's a leader, by the way, and won multiple trophies. Brilliant signing, Jorginho, for 12 million. And then you've got Leandro Trossard, who's 28, but he's Premier League proven as well. And he can play across the front three. So for me, they don't really change the starting 11, but do they impact the squad and make a positive effect? They do, 100 million %. And by the way, it doesn't mean that they can't get into the starting 11, because Mo, we watched the game last week, Man City Arsenal. Trossard was the best player for Arsenal on that pitch. Saka was locked up by Nathan Ake saying, get me out of jail. Whereas Leandro Trossard was saying, pass me the next ball because I want to have another drink and have another go at, Rico Lewis. So for me, Trossard's already come in and shown that I can start if Martinelli's not on form. And I actually think, right, out of all them players there where they've signed, Trossard, Jorginho, Kua, I do believe that if Martinelli does have a dip in form, which he has had before, Trossard will be sniffing and be waiting. So I think, does this strengthen their Premier League chances of winning the league? Yes.
I'm absolutely one of the biggest fans of Leandro Trossard. Absolutely fantastic player, fantastic.
Only 21 million, Mo, as well.
This is a great business. Jorginho, I'm not a big fan of his. I still think that he is a change, and you guys explained to me yesterday how he is so important in seeing out games, as we say. Like when you're winning 1-0 to 1, you see out the game by having someone like him dictating the play, holding the ball, and that's a great signing. However, I thought with Partey's injury history, they needed someone with the same profile. It doesn't have to be the 80 million Caicedo. It could have been someone with the same profile as Lukonga, but a better player. Someone from France, someone from Italy. And that's what I wanted. Like Trossard, very similar to Saka and Martinelli. Direct, can score, can cross, can assist. Kua is the same as Gabriel. Good defender, aggressive. Jorginho is different than Partey. So I'm afraid that if Partey gets injured, and we know that we have seen it in the Man City game when he left the field limping. If Jorginho comes in to start games, they will need to change the way they play. That's what I think, because of the recovery, and I explained that yesterday. However, brilliant signing for 12 million. I don't think for 12 million in this day and age you can get a better player than Jorginho.
There you go. You said it. Like,
you can get a better player.
For 12 million, you can't get much better. And people have got to remember, by the way, like when you're looking at where Arsenal are right now, they probably won't be in this position next year because all the other teams around them are going to strengthen. And Man City again and Liverpool will try and come again. Now, when you think about it, right, when you look at this Arsenal team, how many of them have won leagues across Europe or won multiple trophies? They haven't. Gabriel Jesus has, but,
Jorginho haven't won the league, Ty. He hasn't won the league.
Yeah, Jorginho hasn't won the league. I get it. But he still has that mentality of, getting teams over the line. And
Euros, Champions League. Euros, Champions League, big
Champions
titles.
League, Euros, Super Cup or whatever. Europa League as well with Chelsea.
Yes.
So when you add that to the salt on the chips, even if he's not playing, at least he can come in with that mentality. Look at Zinchenko. When Zinchenko arrived at Arsenal, he goes into that dressing room and goes, right, guys, I know your targets are like top 3, top 4. No, why can't we go for the title? He might have got laughed at, but he come in with that mentality that changes people, makes them think different. Jorginho will come in and give them that calmness and that experience that they need. And everyone's got to remember, Mo, like we've said, and like everyone will know, Thomas Partey starts in that midfield when he's fit. Jorginho as an option, as a plan B for 12 million. We've got McTominay in our plan B. We had Fred. You know what I mean? We had that's what we had a few months ago. So when you look at the quality Jorginho brings, it's a plan B.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant signing. Listen, absolutely brilliant.
And you know what it also does as well? People will forget this. When you sign Jorginho for 12 million and you bring him in on a short contract for 2 years, Arsenal know they want a midfielder in the summer. 12 million allows you to then spend 60, 70, 80 million on a big midfielder in the summer, which is what they want. So they're going to have Thomas, Jorginho for 12 million, he's happy to rotate, and then they'll go and get their 60 million man. So it's smart business, man.
Absolutely, 100%. For me, this window for Arsenal has been good. They actually finally their board listened, and they did not make the mistake that they did last year, because they found themselves last year at 4th place at halfway through the season, and they didn't do the right business, and their squad fell short at the end of the season. And I think with bringing the center back here, Jorginho and Leandro Trossard, along with Europa League challenge that they are in, I think this team can go all the way to the end and actually win the Premier League for the first time since 2004 in 19 years. And again, when I say I'm not going to rate it a 10 or a 9 because of Partey's injury, but I can be proven completely wrong, and Partey can stay fit and He is fit, plays every game. Jorginho plays when needed. When they see out games, Jorginho comes in the 60th minute and then they close out games. And I think it's an absolutely brilliant window for Arsenal. And everybody says in the chat, I'm sorry, guys, the comments are flying and it's very hard to flag a comment. I'm very sorry. But I'm trying to put the comments on the screen that I see like a little bit irrelevant to what we say. And I see a lot of Arsenal fans are very, very happy, Ty, with this window. They are absolutely over the moon. Avik here is saying 7.
I see a specific comment mode, which I think we could touch
from
on.
where?
RDB. Big up everyone that's watching, by the way. I'm just going to quickly shout out 200 of you here on a Wednesday afternoon. So thank you so much. Please make sure you smash the like button because it does help us get to other people that might not know about the channel. Just trying to give you some good football talk. RDB goes,
I got the comment. I get the comment on the screen. Yeah.
You read it out and then.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Why do people keep saying Arsenal won't be in this position next season? The team will be even stronger next year. Arsenal will 100% compete. Right, I'll go, and then you go, Mo. Because I'm not saying that Arsenal won't be in this position next year. There's a difference. Chelsea are not performing. Liverpool are not performing. Manchester United are kind of in that new manager phase. And you've got Man City who are going to get better next year. So when you look at the Premier League right now, it's Arsenal versus Manchester City. Next year, the teams that I've just mentioned, even in Spurs, I know people say Spurs are Spurs, but they're still Spurs. They're going to be better next year. So Arsenal will not be sitting at this point next season, 5-6 points clear at the top of the table with a massive gap to the Chelsea, Liverpools and everyone else. So what I'm saying is this is their best chance of lifting the Premier League. If you guys think I'm wrong, then I'd like to be proved wrong. I don't mind, but I'm having a football discussion where I think this is the best chance Arsenal can win a league because rivals will improve and they're capitalizing on their moment. And yes, they might be there next year challenging. I'm not saying they won't, but it won't be like how it has been this season. What do you think, Mo?
Before we do that, listen, people, we got 200 people watching and show us a little bit of respect. I'm waking up at 8 in the morning to do the stream for you here. And Ty is taking time a little bit off work in his lunch. And instead of eating, Ty is here trying to have a football talk. So please, I want the likes to go up a little bit. Show us a little bit of respect, please. We are on 72 likes. I won't accept anything less than 100 likes in the next 5 minutes. This like button looks like what you see on the screen. It looks like this is underneath your live chat. Please check again, please. Please check again if you hit that like or not. I want to see 100 likes, please, in the next 5 minutes. It's easy, it's free, but it helps us massively. You have no idea. And Ty, absolutely. Thank you so much. I see the likes going up. Keep it up, people, until we reach at least 100 likes. So we can keep going. We have been going for about 28 minutes.
I like this as well. It's proper football talk, man. So this is
Let's keep it up, people. Check that like button. I'm going to go ahead and answer you.
People are saying, people are disagreeing and some are agreeing. So I want to see what your takes is on Arsenal next season. Then we'll go on to different.
I actually completely disagree with you in this. Respectfully disagree with you.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So the reason why I'm saying that is that listen, I don't see the future. You don't see the future, but we only can read the signs. Based on talking to my friend Dabs, who is on our channel all the time, he's the co-owner of this channel. He's saying that he's expecting an overhaul next year.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is gonna be a lot of ins and outs in City, and people are gonna have to get used to the system. Man United with Ten Hag, second season, the future looks bright for Man United. However, Arsenal are already in the future, and it looks like the board are doing the right business. And if their team is very young, and it can only get better. Saka, the superstar, is 21. Martinelli, 21. Leandro Trossard is by him is 28. So I think this team can only get better. Liverpool doesn't look like they're going to get better, and we're going to talk about them in a bit. Chelsea, a lot of players. Graham Potter, not a winner though. He is not a winner. If Arteta wins the league this year, he is already a winner. So I think it's still going to be Arsenal, Man United, Man City, and maybe Newcastle. Chelsea are like in this tunnel.
And that's enough, Mo. That's enough. My counter argument to that is what I'm saying. There's 2 teams right now in Man City, Arsenal. Next year, you just listed 5 teams.
Just four. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Just 3. Man United, City, and Arsenal next year. You are assuming, I think you are assuming that Chelsea will be good because of the signings. How many times I've seen clubs sign a lot of players and the coach can gel them together? Chelsea actually has been in this position before. The 1 year that they signed Havertz, Pulisic, Ziyech, like they signed a lot of players. And at the end of that, they added Lukaku, but at the end they failed. So I don't see the future. All I'm seeing are signs. And the signs are Arsenal young team, very progressive, and can only get better. So who says, who am I to sit here and assume that they're going to get worse? You're assuming that the other teams will get better, but also Arsenal will get better. Let me get a couple of super chats right here. He's saying City players are having a revolt. Silva, Walker next. I'm going to let Dapt respond to that, but I disagree with you a little bit on this. They're not having a revolt because I think people stood up to Cancelo.
They've done their time here, and I just think they've respected Man City. They've won trophies, and all players have a time where they just want to move on and have a fresh challenge. It's respectful. I don't think it's nasty, but yeah.
We'll talk about City. And another super chat, of course, another super chat from Dennis is saying, everyone said last season was Arsenal's best chance to get top 4. Look at them now. Let's stop assuming every Big 6 club will improve this season. Thank you so much. Echoing exactly what I'm saying. And they can only get better. And I'm with you here. Arsenal will get better. So
it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting.
I think it's a very good discussion. Yeah.
So how do you rate the window? So because we need to move on to your club.
I'm going to rate the window for me. I'm going to give it a strong. I'm trying to think. I want to say a strong 7, close to 8, but I'm gonna go strong 7.
Okay, I'm gonna get it about 8 because of the center back. 7, 8, of the center back. If they didn't add the center back, I think that would be a 7. But I think the center back is absolutely massive. That means they strengthen in every single line, and that's a smart business from me. So for me, I'll get it an 8. Everybody that is here, we have 210 people watching, and I need the likes to go up again. Thank you so much for that. And now we move to Mr. Erik ten Hag and Man United. So Ty, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Oh wait, right. If there's any Man United fans here, you know the struggles we've been through in terms of trying to get players, spending money sometimes, or not making the right decisions. I don't want to say getting players. We do always get players, but making the right decisions when we get players. Man United have always gone for like the big type of names, Mo, and that's what you've always known us for: spending big money, getting big names. But I feel like Ten Hag's changing that. Look at the summer when he came in, signing someone like Eriksen on a free. You get Malacia for 13 million. People that add to the squad depth and that can actually bring some quality in, and it's worked. Now, Eriksen got injured 2 days ago, and, the deadline day window was approaching, and I'm thinking, what is going on? For me, Sabitzer to come in on a deadline day, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm very happy with that. I didn't expect it at all, and, we could have been left with McTominay and Fred and Kobe Mino and Zidane Iqbal, and we could have had, 4 competitions with potentially in, you could say. That could have been halved quickly because the quality wasn't there. To bring in someone like Marcel Sabitzer, and you've watched him enough, Mo, I said on the show yesterday, people need to be in trust with Ten Hag and people need to trust Sabitzer. This is a player coming from Bayern Munich with a point to prove because it hasn't worked out from there. But remember who he played for before? RB Leipzig. Now, guys, when RB Leipzig were playing in the Champions League against Man United, knocking us out, playing Spurs, beating them, they're a high-intensity team, energetic, dynamic, quite young, fast. That suits the Premier League. Everyone will always say, Leipzig are close to a Premier League team. Now, Sabitzer was part of the core of that, if people knew. He was part of the core. I have no doubts about his ability to tackle, get up and down the pitch. He can pass the ball forward. He's got long shots. He's tenacious. And he's 28 years of age, which kind of is a perfect age for a midfielder. So I think signing him on a free is brilliant because Eriksen out, Sabitzer in. That doesn't change too much there. And then Sam Weghorst, and people will say, it's Weghorst. He played for Burnley. He flopped. I don't really look at that. I look at a player's ability and what he brings to a manager and a team. We've already seen that he's come in and he's holding up the ball. He's pressing very well. He had a good game against Arsenal away, who were the top of the team. They only beat us 3-2, and he's got his first goal. Now, for me, Weghorst is not a guaranteed starter. He's not going to be here to start loads of games. But as a plan B, as a target man, if you need something in the last 20 minutes and stuff like that, it's a very good option to have. Sometimes in the Premier League, there are games that you draw 1-1 or 0-0. But having someone like him is a good option. So I think for a window to get Sabitzer on a free, on loan, is a good deal. But that only happened because Eriksen. and to get Weghorst in because Martial we can't rely on because of injuries is a good option. I get it. It's not what everyone wanted in terms of a big name or someone that's going to guarantee start next season. But that will come in the summer, Mo. That will come in the summer.
I'm going to play devil's advocate, Ty. I'm going to play devil's advocate and tell you something that you might not like. You know my opinion about Sabitzer, and I think he's a good player. However, Eriksen is injured. Cristiano Ronaldo out of the door. You got a striker and you got a midfielder. From outside looking, it might look like you're doing an Arsenal again. You did not strengthen. You're replacing 1-1. So Christian Eriksen injured until April. So Arsenal last year, they didn't do good business in January and they were already in the 4th position. You are in the same position while the likes of Chelsea, Spurs were 9th when Antonio Conte took over last year. And at the end, Chelsea got, I think, 3rd and Spurs got 4th. So for me, I'm just going to flip it to you and say, you didn't strengthen your club. You didn't. You are in a 4th position. And instead of strengthening, you replaced Ronaldo with Weghorst, not the same ability. You replaced Sabitzer with Eriksen, close, not profile, but close level. Like if Eriksen gets you 7 out of 10 every game, Sabitzer gets you 7 out of 10, but a different attribute. You did not improve your squad at all in this window. Do you think that was a mistake? You needed more players, especially Europa League. You have a Carabao Cup final. You need to strengthen. How are you looking at it from that angle?
Yeah, do you know what? From that angle, I actually agree with everything you've said. I think we've done like for like, replace, and we haven't actually improved the squad. We've just replaced the players that are not here or are injured now. However, not to play devil's advocate, but to be realistic, did I expect any big name? There's a difference because it's what can you do to what you want to do. To what I want to do, I want to get Frankie de Jong. I want to get Victor Osimhen up top. But are they going to come in January? No, they're not going to come in January. So I know that the big signings that we're talking about, improving the squad, improving the starting 11, that is something we're forward thinking about in the summer. So already, Mo, you've been on so many shows with me, Daps, Cass, and everyone. I've never come on a show with you in the last month and said, we're going to buy this person in January. We're going to do this. You haven't heard because I didn't expect it. I didn't believe that we were going to do that. I knew we didn't have the money to do that. So we've just got to work with what we've got. I get it. You could say, Ty, but you're in the Europa League. You're in the Carabao. You could still potentially, if Arsenal flop, challenge for the title. You're still in the Europa League and FA Cup, 4 competitions, you could say, 3 of them properly. You probably would want to strengthen because you could win that sort of treble, if you want to call it, if you strengthen. Treble. But the players Ten Hag wants and the way his mind works, he's specific on each player he gets in. And the players weren't available with the big budget that he wants. So for me, I'm not going to say it's a 10 out of 10 window. It's probably a 4 or 5 because we've just replaced Eriksen with Sabitzer and we've replaced Weghorst, who was out for Ronaldo. So it's literally a 4 or 5 window. But in terms of our squad, I'm not complaining because these are 2 players that are going to play and get games. And at the moment, we're already surpassing expectations this season, Mo. So
no, you're not. No, you're not. But we're not. It's for another show. We'll talk about it in the preview tomorrow for the Premier League when it's back. But no, you're not. You are doing everything that Ten Hag, after spending 200 million, should be doing, especially with Liverpool and Chelsea.
In every competition more than every other club.
You aren't in you're in the Carabao Cup, which is fine. I'm talking about the Premier League, Europa League. You're still in the round of 32. You're playing Barcelona.
People didn't have us in the top 4, Mo.
I did. 200 million with Casemiro, a game changer. I'm sorry, Casemiro, for me, I want you to have the same energy we had for Enzo yesterday. Casemiro, 65 million experienced player, but he delivered. That's what I want to say. He delivered.
And we'll now leave Enzo to deliver. Otherwise,
exactly. We're talking. So for me, Eriksen delivered, and you are where you should be. You shouldn't be challenging for the Premier League. That was a push, but you should be in top 4, especially with Spurs being shit, especially with Chelsea and Liverpool. So you are not over. You are not overachieving. But this was a different show. I don't want you to get dwell on this.
I have to come back to one. No.
Okay, I'm gonna remember it. Go ahead.
I'm doing a DAP special. I'm just coming back one more time. You know when DAP's don't want to let it go, right? One more time, yeah. You just said you should be in the top 1, but because Chelsea, Spurs, and that having a bad season. But at the start of the season, no one was thinking that Spurs, Chelsea, and everything was going to have this bad a season, or Liverpool. So based off the logic now, yes, we should be in the top 4 because they're flopping. But at the start of the season, no one knew they were going to flop. So no one had us in the top 4. So we're here. So I see what you're doing. I've got a comeback for everything, but I
Yeah,
let's
but
move on.
all I'm saying is that you spend 200 million in the summer, you should be at least in the top 4 mix. Shouldn't you? Should you not?
I said top 6 and win a trophy, and I'll be happy with that and then see progress in the football. But yeah, man, let's see how it goes. But you know
Let's
what?
see how it goes. I want to go on to the next one. Listen, people, we want to
Who we
go on
got?
to the next one. Who do we have next? Oh yeah,
Tottenham or
Spurs, my friend. So we got
Yeah.
Spurs for you. Two big, I think they're big signing. I don't know a lot about Poro, but I know about Danjuma. However, before we move on, people, please, again, we have 210 people and I need the likes to go up to 150. Check underneath your live chat. Please hit that like button. Even if you don't like what I'm saying, even if you don't like what I say, but we're here trying to do this show for you. So please hit that like button for us because it helps us massively, people. I swear it helps us massively and it doesn't cost you a penny. We're not asking for super chat. I'm just asking for a like button. So please do it. Ty, give me, you are a big fan of Danjuma, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So give me, what does this player offer to Spurs?
Do you know what it is? You've got Heung-min Son, who scores goals, right? And I'm going to compare it to Heung-min Son is a goal scorer. We watch Heung-min Son for the last 3-4 years, hit 15 plus in the league regularly. Is Heung-min Son a very good footballer? I've always questioned that. Can he really dribble past his man and beat a man? He doesn't really do that often. Technically, he's okay, but I feel like he's a finisher. If you said to me, pick one thing Son is good at, I say finishing. Left foot, right foot, in front of goal. He puts the ball in the back of the net.
I'm sorry.
What are you laughing at?
It's a comment that Ed, because you're watching the show, I keep changing the screen with every window, and then Ed is coming and says Liverpool will gonna be an empty screen, but just a.
Oh, okay. I can see it. Yeah. He's coming. Oh, I love that. But no, with me, Son's a finisher. So I feel like when he's on the end of things, he's good. He's deadly in front of goal. But when Tottenham are not playing great, when they need to be dug out of a hole, sometimes Son can go quite quiet or missing in some games. Now, I feel for me, Danjuma brings flair. He brings one-on-one dribbling. He gets down on the byline. He creates space for others because he attracts so many players towards him. You know, like Grealish, how he dribbles with the right foot and he's on the touchline. He creates 2 players got to come over to him. Danjuma is that type of profile. So I feel like he's going to benefit players like Kane. Kulusevski now knows on the other side. He doesn't have to do all the creativity. So I feel like for a team, this is actually going to help Spurs. The problem for me is your guy. Can Antonio Conte get the best out of, Danjuma, Son, Kulusevski, and Kane? They won't all play together, but when they're all playing and one of them's on the pitch and one of them's not, can Conte get the most out of them this season? So I feel like in terms of Heung-min Son, he's had a quiet season. He needs to be, pressured. And some people have called for him to be on the bench. Danjuma will give him that threat because Danjuma plays off the left. Kulusevski's got that locked down. So I think this is a very good sign. And again, this is a loan move. This is not something they've spent money on. This is something that improves the squad. It gives them a different profile to the Sons, Kulusevski, and the Kanes. He can play up front. He can play on the left. And I like him. And you know what? People will say, oh, he doesn't even play for, Villarreal or whatever. He scored 6 goals in the Champions League last year. He cooked Diogo Dalot last year. I know this player is a good player, but it's just about believing in him. And I see the comment here. Look, what's this guy talking about? Son can dribble from an Arsenal fan. When was the last time you saw Son?
Hold on. Respectfully, Ty. Son can dribble. The fact that he dropped the form this year does not change the fact that Son was one of the best players in the Premier League over the past 2-3 years.
When Son been honest, when Son lined up a defender 1v1 and taken him on and beat them,
he does, but he doesn't have the flair of Anthony. He's kind of like a Rashford.
Anthony doesn't even take on his man. Really.
He tries to, but what I mean is that Son is kind of similar to Rashford. Kind of dribbles on the run, can tuck inside, take a shot from a small angle. But Danjuma,
Rashford can beat his man.
Yeah, but Son does. To be honest with you, Son does. Son used to do last year.
I don't believe. What we'll do from now, Mo, we'll watch the Spurs game and see if Son actually takes on his man and beats him. Because I think Son's a good player, by the way. But I said Son's a finisher. You said, what does Danjuma bring different to Spurs? He's a dribbler. He's a 1v1 demon. He'll create space for others. I think he gives them flair that they don't really have on that side. I think he does give them a little something that they actually have been missing. I think Son's a good player. I just don't think that he's a complete footballer as what people have made out over the last few seasons. I think he's a finisher and he's good, very good in front of goal.
Yeah. One more. Okay. So what about the other guy? What about the other guy? What about Porro? I have no information because, to be honest with you, Ty, one of the leagues that I don't watch at all is the Portuguese league. At all. I have no idea why there is so much hype about this guy from people that I'm sure 100% in the chat. People let me know how many times you watch this guy. And Ty here, my friend, you watch a lot of freaking football. How many times you watch this guy? Outside of Champions League.
I've watched him once. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? And it's so hard for me to say that he's going to be this and going to be that. There's one thing I can say. Tottenham fans that are here, Arsenal fans that are here as well. You signed Trippier back in the day, well, not too long ago. You signed Doherty, you signed Emerson Royale, and you signed Jed Spence. You've had 4 right backs come in the last 4 or 5 years, and none of them have really worked. Now, you need to be lucky with Porro because you're spending another 40 million on a player that you've had positions come in and out for many seasons. It has to work. If it doesn't work, Mo, I don't know what they can do.
Yes.
They might as well sign me or you to play right back.
Listen, the problem with that is Antonio Conte relies so much on the wing backs that they had to sign a good name. And based on the scouts, I don't trust Antonio Conte in signing. Antonio Conte's signing sometimes failed. They failed. And if he asked for this player based on his scouts, I'm not sure. But this window for me, Spurs are underwhelming. Absolutely. You needed a center back?
You know what? They needed the center. If they got Skriniar or someone alongside that.
They can get Skriniar. He's not going to go to that. He's not going to go to that club.
That takes it from like a 5 to like an 8 immediately. Like, it's such a big jump because you can sign Danjuma and I get it. We'll add some flair and we'll get some goals. And they'll see Pedro Porro. They need a right back. So I get it. But still, what does Ferguson always say? Goals wins you games. Defense wins you. You could say titles, as they call it. Spurs ain't going to win a title, of course, or win a cup. They could win an FA Cup. You don't know, but you need a solid foundation. And they didn't have that centre back in. They've got Romero, Eric Dyer, Ben Davis sometimes playing there, Clement Lenglet. That's not good enough. They need to get a centre back in the summer. But I do think that Pedro Porro will be an upgrade on what they've got. And I think if you ask me who I'm excited to watch out of everyone this window, I think I'd put him as maybe number 1 because I've heard so much about him, Mo, in terms of his attacking intent, his assists, his ability to get up and down the pitch. I really want to see it in the Premier League. I'm excited to watch this one.
Me too. I'm excited to watch him, but I think here's the problem. The hype about Jorginho, I understand. The hype about Trossard, I understand. The hype about Sabitzer, and I can go names, Enzo. The hype about Porro, I don't understand it.
That's what we need to wait and see.
I'm like, exactly. I have to wait and see. So for me, Danjuma.
Okay, last question then before we move on from Spurs. He is signed, yeah? He's done. He'll be in training tomorrow. Man City on Sunday at home for Spurs.
You
start him
straight away? Play him right away. The heart is gone. You play him right away. Listen, some players, especially, he's not. You play him right away. Antonio Conte does that. Brings a player, play him right away. So I rate this window for me as a 6. Just to say, I'm generous as a 6. A 5, because for me, anything below 5 is a failure. And it's not a failure if you're adding to your forward line who they're not firing, and you're adding to one of the wing backs who you really needed. So I would rate it as a 6, 5.5, 6. People, let me know in the comments, but 5.5, 6. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I actually agree with you on that because Porro does come in a start and Danjuma adds something to their squad already, but they should have got that centre back. Guys, there's over 200 of you still watching. We're going to do another 10 minutes. Please make sure that you smash the like button. Please make sure you subscribe if you're new. Big up everyone that's watching. You guys from the start, you guys that are joining us who have been new. We really appreciate your support. And without you guys in the comments watching the show, obviously it wouldn't be a show. So we appreciate you listening to us, man. And also, please hit in the description the NAF watch along. We have now got a channel where Mo does watch alongs for the big European games, the big Premier League games, Cup games. So please go and get that over to 1,000 subscribers. And if you love your reactions to goals, that's the place to be.
So anyway, the one more thing is that I want to move to the other team who everybody things that they didn't do.
Someone said they're going to be blank, but they've got a certain someone that they've signed who, you know what? It should be blank because he's been crap.
It's not blank. It's not blank, people. Just hear me out. It's not blank. Here we go. There is Gakpo is here for you. The guy who is flying in tomorrow to play for Liverpool this weekend. Cody Gakpo is coming. You're going to see him on the pitch this weekend. So, Cody Gakpo. I'm going to say my say. Jurgen Klopp again, at it again. Dab said it yesterday, and I'm in a total agreement with him. The board said to him, here's 45 million. Get us someone. And then he looks at us like, oh, I have 6 forwards. I need 1 more. And I have no midfielders firing, but I don't need a midfielder. So he uses the money to get Cody Gakpo, who does not fit the way they play. They had Firmino and they had Jota. 2 kind of false nines supporting Mane and Salah, and now you go Cody Gakpo. I don't think suits the way they play. And what do you... How is someone thinking that at this moment, Liverpool, who conceded way more goals than they usually do because of their midfield, and their fullbacks are not firing because of the midfield, go and get a forward instead of a midfielder?
I'm going to play devil's advocate because what Dap said yesterday, I agree with. I was even saying with him at the start of the season when we're chatting to Grizz, they need to get a midfielder. Like, they have to get a midfielder. They need 2. No, not a midfielder. They need 2 midfielders. They didn't go and get that. The only reason I believe they signed Gakpo, who's been crap, by the way, since he come in, is 1, the World Cup form. If he didn't really perform at the World Cup, I'm guaranteeing you now, Liverpool are not going anywhere near that. And 2, what you just said there, Jota, Diaz, Mo, they're injured. They're not back till March. Okay. Liverpool could not be in the position, the way they are as a club, the expectation from the fans, to go into the rest of the season with Salah, Nunez, and Carvalho, Harvey Elliott, and potentially an Oxlade-Chamberlain who plays on 1 leg every season. That's the only reason I believe they went for Gakpo. If Liverpool didn't have the injuries to Luis Diaz and Jota, they don't sign Gakpo. I can say it right now. They go and get a midfielder. But because the lack of quality in terms of the replacements for the injured players who are actually properly injured, they're going to sign Gakpo. But the problem will be next season when he's got to try and fit them all in, because someone's going to have to leave. But they have not got that midfielder. And you know what happens when you haven't got that midfielder? You can sign Gakpo. But who's getting the ball to Gakpo? Because Thiago can't do everything. So you signed a player and you can't even get the ball to him. So for me, it's a shit show. And I'm not even trying to come at Liverpool, right? Because they're my rivals. But I'm sorry. I love seeing this. I can actually say right now, I think we're better than Liverpool. I was on the phone to Cass the other day, right? And we talked about something with Liverpool and whatnot. And I was like, oh, but Cass, it's cool. Because you could just say that we're better than Liverpool. He will know what I'm on about. And it's like, mad. We haven't said that for ages, Mo. But the way we're feeling right now is that even with Liverpool sign their players in the summer, the way we're going to sign players in the summer, I feel like we're overtaking them now. We're going to be the ones that are challenging above them, wherever it is next season, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 2nd, or whatever it is.
Oh my God! You really think Liverpool are going to go back to the early 2010s era?
I'm not going to say they're going to go down. But I'm saying I actually believe that we finish above them next season again.
Oh yeah, I agree. But
we're going to be better. I just think that the signings they've made, they need big midfielders in the summer. I don't know if Gakpo and Salah and Nunez are going to hit it off. That's a lot of ifs and buts because they're not very technical. They're sort of finishers, goal scorers, all running in behind. I just don't think there's the right balance right now.
So question is, Bailey here is saying, been absolutely supportive of this channel all the time, Bailey. And I want to... This question. He said, I like Gakpo. I trust Klopp in the summer. The question here is, should Liverpool fans have a blind trust in Jurgen Klopp? My answer, no. No. He didn't get them. I know they won a league. I know they won a Champions League. Somehow they fall short. Look at the difference between Man City and Liverpool. In 10 years, we'll remember this as Man City's era and Liverpool the challengers. As much as we remember Man United as the dominant team and Arsenal the ones who challenge. And that's, I don't know, Klopp created a monster, yes, but a monster that cannot finish the business. And it looks like he's out of ideas. So I disagree with anybody that says that they should trust Klopp
So do
blindly.
you think this time? Okay. So do you think at this point next season, end of the January transfer window, Klopp is still Liverpool manager?
No,
You think he goes
in the summer,
no matter what?
no matter what.
So if wow.
Let me tell you why. You know Thomas Tuchel, when Todd Bowley took over, we knew that Thomas Tuchel is going to get fired. A lot of journalists and a lot of pundits are talking about it. And I think if they get bought, the new owners are going to do an overhaul and the manager is going to be part of it. I like Jurgen Klopp. I think Jurgen Klopp is absolutely phenomenal in terms of developing players. The likes of Salah, the likes of Mane, he took them to the next level. The likes of Firmino, the likes of Fabinho, even Jordan Henderson, Trent. He's absolutely phenomenal in taking the players to the next level. However, I think he's out of ideas. And I think he's so stubborn to the point that you need to change, my friend. And if you don't change, they will change you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And exactly
he's never done a rebuild, and this is basically a rebuild. You've lost your Fabinho soon. You've lost your Mane. You've lost your Henderson's going. His legs are going. Milner's going. Van Dijk's getting older. You know, Robertson's approaching his 30s. There are key players and key positions and leaders that are leaving. And that said a good point yesterday, and I'll actually give him credit for that because I've never thought of it. He actually said yesterday, obviously, Klopp's struggling at the moment. He's trying to find a way to get this team going again. But Jordan Henderson, as I just mentioned, is on his last legs, or he's going to leave in the next year or two. But if you look at him as a leader for England, I don't really like him as a player, but for England, you can see what he does as a leader. For Liverpool, he's that leader in the dressing room. He's a key part of that dressing room. And when you start losing little eggs like that, you've then got to step up. And Jurgen Klopp might not be able to do that. So it is going to be so interesting to see what happens with them in the summer, because we all know they need midfielders. They need to go out and get them. I can't wait to see how they spend. It's going to be so interesting, man. But 200 people still here, 58 minutes gone. Cody Gakpo still not scored, and I'm rating their window a 4 out of 10.
Me too. But 4 out of 10, it's a failure for me. Okay, so the last thing, 200 people here, and the last thing I want to talk about, and I don't want to dwell a lot on it, is I want to talk a little bit about Man City, to be honest. Just a little bit about Man City. I know that they have a great squad. I know that they don't need maybe signings or something. However, with Cancelo gone, I thought they needed maybe a left back, because Nathan Ake might not be fit the whole season. I never wish an injury on anybody, and I think Nathan Ake has been absolutely phenomenal this year. With the Netherlands and with Man City, but I don't trust Sergio Gomez, and that's my problem with that. And Champions League is coming. They're still in the cup. Lots of games are happening. You will need another left back. And it looks like Sergio Gomez is not the guy to replace Nathan Ake on the left side. It's going to be Laporte or something. So what do you think about that?
Just to confirm quickly, I see some comments. I was going to say Liverpool. That's why I said Genos was a 4. I think it's a 2 or 3, just like people were saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think it is. They didn't really improve anything they really needed apart from Gakpo with the injuries. But with Man City, man, I said it yesterday. I feel like where João Cancelo was the left back coming inside, and you had Kyle Walker as the outlet on the right, and he was slotting as a back 3 when they had the ball. I feel like that's what they're trying now with Rico Lewis. Obviously, he's the right back that comes in, and you've got Nathan Ake as the left back that slots into the 3. However, what you said yesterday was bang on. They don't really have the width, whereas Kyle Walker would provide the width, or should I say João Cancelo would provide the width. Rico Lewis on the other side likes to come in, so there's not much width. So for me, when you look at where Man City are right now, they want to be challenging Arsenal for the title. They want to be potentially winning the Champions League. We all know that, like, that's what a lot of rival fans, you could say, football fans say, they want the Champions League. Nathan Ake as the first choice left back, I think solid defensively. Sergio Gomez, we haven't seen the best of. He struggled to settle, should I say, this year. But the other one is Laporte's played left back more, and I think people are forgetting that one. I thought about it last night.
I said that yesterday. I said this Laporte can play left back. He's not bad.
Laporte can play left back. So for me, I just feel like Pep is the type of manager. And I said this on Ten Hag the other day. Before Arsenal played Man United, we didn't have Casemiro. And I said, you know what? Ten Hag loves these sort of conundrums. He likes to think. They like problems. Pep has kind of got a problem in terms of what should he do about the left back situation. But if you've got Sergio Gomez, who's a natural left back, you've got Nathan Ake that can play there, and Laporte, a centre back more that can play there. I would just rotate and play which one suits the fixture. But if one player is going to be that detrimental to your whole season, then I think that's more a problem with the manager and what's going on than the player itself. Because I actually feel like the best teams have always had injury problems. Zinchenko was out for Arsenal just a few weeks ago. He's been out for half the season. They still play Kieran Tierney, who's an able deputy, but it's not Zinchenko. So just because Man City haven't got Cancelo now, it doesn't mean that they can't still hit the heights. A great manager can find a way still to win. They've still got Laporte, Sergio Gomez, and Ake that can play there. So the best teams sometimes have to have injury setbacks or players leave, and you have to adapt. And I think Pep can do that. He likes to think. Pep likes a challenge. So let's see if we can get it right. But, you know, you've got an Arsenal team that you've got to try and stop, and you've got a Champions League that's bang on wide open because there's no team performing right now. Any team can win the Champions League right now, the way you're looking at it.
Yeah. And for me, the last thing I'm gonna talk about City is that Pep Guardiola is the best manager to utilize players, the best in business, absolutely the best. When we see Fabian Delph, when we see him utilizing players left and right, he played Kevin De Bruyne as a false nine, and it worked, and they won the league with KDB playing sometimes at a false nine, Foden at a false nine. I trust Pep. I'm not a City fan, but I trust that Pep can actually get them fighting and playing. However, if I was a City fan, I would have liked them to go out and maybe explore an option as a left back just to have the squad at least the same. But that's what it is. But it is what it is. It's Pep, best coach in the last 10 years or 15 years.
Exactly.
So
this is it, Mo. This is it, Mo.
But again, questions need to be asked.
To be answered. Yeah, questions need to be asked and questions need to be answered. Pep doesn't have his number one choice left back, but Pep still have an able squad, and he still has the ability 100%. To win the league and the Champions League. Now he needs to show that he can do what he does as a manager, and he can think, he can find solutions.
Yes, absolutely. So Box Gunner is asking, when is the Champions League and Europa League previews? We'll try to do that on Wednesdays and Tuesday, Thursdays. We'll have to find that right time for them.
Me and Mo are going to get our European show back going, guys. Don't worry, me and Mo.
We'll try to do that, everybody. There's a lot of games in February, to be honest, and in March, so that's going to be a struggle. But however, we have done more than an hour. I like this. And there is no rate for the City. There is no rating because they didn't do any business. They just loaned the player out. So no rating. I'm not going to rate them. However, I think the winner for us is always going to be Chelsea, followed by Arsenal. Do you agree with that? And then who else we talked about? Man United or Spurs? I would rate Spurs more than Man United.
We'll
then
go
Man United.
Spurs, then Man United. That's what I think as well.
So,
go
ahead.
I was going to say, but no, thank you ever so much, everyone that's been watching. Obviously, 200 basically here throughout the whole show, which I hope you've liked. Football talk, good debates, good comments as well. So thank you everyone that's been tuned in. Make sure you do like this video before you leave. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Please also subscribe to the NEF watch-alongs down below where Mo does watch-alongs of big games. And you can also become a member, guys. So as I can see, Wolves FI, just for an example, his comments light up in green, Bailey's in blue, for example, Nick's as well. We can see certain comments more than others, so we can get them up on the screen. So make sure you get priority to that as well. So if you want to become a member, down below. And also, just before I'll let you say, Mo, I was just going to say tomorrow, we have got a Premier League preview for the weekend ahead of the games. And then on Friday, Man City Spurs preview as well. But yeah, thank you for watching.
One more thing. I need to ask you guys a favor. Everybody, it's 200 people watching. I need to ask you guys a favor. After this video is done, I want you to go down in the video and put a comment. You can put whatever comment. You can put that you didn't like what we say. You can put a great show. You can put not a great show. You can put a suggestion. Just a comment below this video. It goes a long way. It is free. Just one comment. If I get 80 or 50 comments on this video, it will help us massively. It goes a long way.
Mo will buy you all breakfast.
Once I come to England, I will do that. But and make sure you hit that like button, please, for us before you go on. But we did it. We ran the show. I hope you guys liked it. From all of us here at Never a Foul, we love you. We appreciate you. We appreciate all your support. And thank you so much. And hopefully, we'll see you guys soon. Salute.
Thank you. Take care, guys.